There's a war on children. One of the biggest stains on this country is child sex trafficking.
It is common knowledge that human trafficking destination A is the United States.
Institutions at every level have been affected. The media, Hollywood, government, the medical community, schools, big and small businesses, and even churches. There are predators from every socioeconomic status, including individuals in positions of great power directly involved in or simply complicit in the child sex slave trade.
It hides in plain sight. Epstein was hiding in plain sight. We all knew about him. We all knew what he was doing.
We have failed these kids. Now's the time to rise up, to defend and protect our children.
Well, Mary O'Neill is the Executive Director and Finance Manager of America's Future Incorporated, guiding the nonprofit organization's administration, their operations, finances, and educational programming to fulfill its mission to preserve American values and ideals, protect our nation's constitutional republic, promote strong American families, revitalize the role of faith in our society, and advance the virtues of free market capitalism. She successfully led this group in the implementation of numerous initiatives related to American values. Now, Mary and America's Future, the parent organization she leads, have launched a new project to stop this scourge of child sex trafficking in our country. America's Future has announced that it will stand up one of the nation's most aggressive and comprehensive initiatives to eradicate the exploitation and trafficking of children with its launch of Project Defend and Protect Our Children as part of its mission to protect the individual rights of all Americans, including children, and promoting strong American families. I couldn't think of anything more important than having Mary back to talk about it, and I welcome her today to the show. Mary, so good to see you again.
Thank you, Doctor. It's so wonderful to be back on this show.
Yeah.
I love the way you carry on with this podcast. This is a wonderful platform. I love it.
Thank you so much, Mary. I don't want to candy coat anything. Thank you so much. I've been honored to work with you. I just can't say that enough. I worry about our nation's children, and it's not a time to candy coat or be polite or politically correct. So that's my approach now, because our window is closing. But let's start by, I thought the video that you all put together was incredibly powerful to tell the story, because people need to understand, that it's happening, and they need to understand what it is and why it's so dangerous. So I want you to lead us into this project, and we'll go into it from there.
Yeah. So so America's Future, kind of came back alive in 2021, May of 2021, when my brother General Flynn asked me to kind of come aboard and lead this. So myself working in almost 40 years of nonprofits, this is like I could do this blindfolded, as far as that's what I do. I take these nonprofits and put them into good standing and do the right thing. But this one particularly touched my heart. America's Future. I came from working for the Catholic Church for 15 years and jumped into America's Future, which to me was where I really could do the work. This is a very rich, historic nonprofit, and like I told everyone when we had the event, that this history was probably one of the first nonprofits, and the review we did on the history of this has just opened my eyes more, and given me more insight as to what we can do and what we're going to do. So being said, it's done very well. It's booming. It's where my team is very small. My team is extremely well experienced in all areas, and I have decided, from going from working in the amicus briefs in the Supreme Courts, which we will still continue because we're doing a lot of good work there. That's where the money needs to go. And the donors' money is very important. We kicked off this. My heart has always been with children and the
abuses,
and the problems the war on children has to me, and what I've experienced and told to the board and my brother in particular is this is where we need to fight now. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on around us in this country, election integrity, all these things, but we can fix those things. We really can if we stay engaged, but we've got to educate and expose, and we have to find solutions to stop the abuse of children.
And let's start there, because you inspired me, and this work inspired me to title this show tonight, Destroy Children, Destroy America. So it's really no simpler than that. But you just mentioned some key words that I found very important in your literature, and the event you referred to, just for people's edification, was recently you and General Flynn and Lara Logan launched the Defend and Protect Our Children campaign at an event down here in South Florida. But those 3 words, right? Let's go through what your organization is going to do and how you're, because I want people to understand you guys are very organized, clear cut. It is expose. I want you to go through all 3. Expose, educate, and eradicate. So let's take us through that.
So exposing, of course, we did get a very big confirmation from, that night from General Flynn. He is going to be the key voice to expose, because he's so fearless, and exposing, it will cause, the truth about trafficking and all the neglect, and we're going to expose the abuse, that's inflicted
the realities, right? The realities,
and the predators, and so we have a serious situation with cartels coming in. We all know this southern border is extremely dangerous to this country. It's actually a national security issue that nobody seems to be really grasping.
It's wide open. Children,
wide open.
Drugging, raping.
That's right. And, so the people that I have brought together are the people like my brother who was persecuted and have pretty much, lost everything except for the American people helping us and praying for us. But these are people that have been in this, working in this, I want to say industry, but it's just an area where they've been,
it is.
They've been, and it is. And so, but they've been doing work that has been incredible. And we're at a point right now where it is time to strike, because if you see, exposing the pedophile, the pedophile out in California is trying to make this a normal thing. There's pedophiles that are in office, in leadership standing in California. And so this is a time where there's no more conspiracy either. So there really isn't any more conspiracy anymore. We know what we know. There are facts. There are things that my advisory has that they just don't know where to go with it because it's there. So exposing is going to be a very, very big piece of this, because we have to have messaging. We have to have media pieces, and Lara is, of course, going to do a show that is a 4-hour piece on Where Are Our Children. It's called.
Very powerful.
Because the work she's done is tremendous, and her background and what she's done. She did pieces throughout her career on children trafficked and hurt and abused, but this is going to be a kickoff, and so we want to support her media pieces, and so one of the biggest things about exposing is going to be grounding grassroots throughout the country. One of the biggest things that America's Future is doing now, and it's growing, is building a grassroots champion network, which is what we need in the communities, and that will help. And then through our education, through our intel and our data from our advisory board, who are experts in other areas. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because there are people that I need to be, they're doing work right now. So it's a kind of a we have to be careful with things like that. And what I want to talk about is the education, and the education, America's future is about families. This is an American family. This is a global thing, but we gotta educate our families and our children and our leaders in all the country, this throughout the country, because they need to find out who's doing what to look for, and how to prevent for example, a child being stolen off the street, or what's going on in your motels, hotels. There's coding going on that people need to be aware of, where they're watching certain weaknesses, where there's a vulnerable child or situations in your communities that need to be watched. Okay, so they're trying to grab children wherever they can, and I know it's a tough. This is a tough thing for people to. It's even tough for people to say child sex trafficking. Okay,
right.
It's a reality, and it's got to be exposed. People need to look at it face on, full on, to see where and what the problems are, because we're seeing what was happening in the border, where children were just being dumped at the border. Okay, not adults. They used to have just even if they were bad adults taking children in, but these are children that are just being purchased, whatever, through their selling of the families or the cartel or whatever they're there at the border, and they are by themselves, and they are shipped off into this country. And biggest problem is sanctuary states. Those are the big problems that we have, are the sanctuary states, because those are the states that allow some really, really radical, and
I think a lot of it was by design. I mean, like when New York State started their, bail reform, it's always the opposite of what it really is. And, if a criminal can rape a child and then be out the next day with a little ticket, so it all is feeding into that. I want to take a little time, Mary, because you guys have developed an incredible slide deck. I mean, I don't know if you want to go through a lot of it quickly, or if you want to go to a couple of slides, but we're going to post it on the show notes, so that when people go to watch the replay of this show, they'll be able to click on the link to your slide deck in your website.
Sure. That's a good thing, because that slide deck is like it's a footprint of what we're going to do. I mean, this is going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of support, and I've got the right people to do this. So it's just that, getting people together, right people together as an advisory, and giving them the support that they need to have is very key to this. We have legal work that we need to do, which is very important, which we've already been doing. So the legal work, and some of these people have already been doing legal work. There's people doing all kinds of things, but bringing it together.
That's what I want people to understand. So if you don't mind, if we can go to the slide deck, or the slide rather, and this is for my producers as well, to bring up PDPC, Little Flower Advisory Board, and I know you want to just give us a little bit of insight into this board, and you've handpicked the key people. But what's important to me about this slide and what you've done, you're so well organized already, and you've got these three areas: operations, lawfare, and media. Like you say, a lot of it is in motion right now, but I want people to know, when they think about supporting you, where this is going. So talk about these three areas for a moment.
So the operations is manpower. There are operations that are going on, and the advisory is going to the operation strategy is going to come through their
guidance and direction.
Their direction, their guidance, but there's operations already going on. Operations also means gathering data, putting data together, building the grassroots, because that's a big part of this. This is what America's Future is doing.
And I see this national network buildup.
Yes, and we're in every state, and the networking is not only the people, the grassroots, the people in the communities, but it's all other organizations that will be able to help network. I have to network their networks to get them in. And I don't, and those are important because there's all kinds of organizations working in communities already. So it's about finding the right, I have to have staff too. That's another thing.
Sure.
The operations staff.
Well, that could be how people join you and help you. That's not always about a donation.
And we're already doing that. That's happening right now. I mean, there's people that are ready to join and help. And this is very important. So the operations is my part. I'm an operation, I'm an administrative person, and I got to build these networks. And that to me is the most important thing. And that's already happening. We've already done that the past 2 years.
And then the lawfare has long been going on because you have all been working in the courts. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that because people are discouraged right now. A lot of courts are compromised, bought and paid for by big pharma and all these other in collusion.
Yes. So there's lawfare. So there's a team of people. One in particular, down here. There's a fellow down here in Florida that I've known for a while. These people are going to join. They've already been working. This one in particular has been representing children. He's already been working to help support them, and he's a pro bono lawyer. So he's fascinated with getting this law team together that will stand up for their rights and find out. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into interns. We're going to find interns, which we've already found some interns that will work. So, for example, if your community has charters, which is very important, people don't know their charters in their communities. There are pieces in their charters that they don't even know that may protect families. So that's one exploring those kinds of things, giving research and development through lawfare, but then sending somebody to Washington to build more policies. The other thing is we have policies to do the death penalty. So one of the other things that we need to find out and let the public know is the fact that there has been people that have been recovering, and they interview the perpetrators. The intel that comes off of that, we have found that there's two things that they've asked, and one is what do you do it for, and what would make you stop? And the biggest thing out of that was that the only thing that would make them stop is the death penalty. Okay. Wow. So this soul sickness is the way that we're going to go.
It's pretty bad and deep. It's pretty bad and deep. And I'll tell you, any psychologist worth their salt will tell you that there's a 100% recidivism rate in pedophilia. There is no cure. So sorry, either lifetime incarceration alone in solitary or death.
Well, Doctor, we know this because I worked in the Catholic Church and I studied this very definitely. We know this from cases. There's already case law. There's already the scandal of the Catholic Church. What they did was the medical field told the bishops, whether this is intentional or not, but this is documented, that put the people that were caught hurting children, the priests, the clergy, they were put into therapy. And when they went into therapy, the doctors would say, okay, they're ready to go now. They're all cured. Okay. Right. Now this is historic. And what happened was, okay, the bishop said, okay, we'll move them around and we'll go do this and that, and we'll send them to another parish. Well, then we found that they continued to do their same thing.
Of course.
So we know that the medical, whether the medical, they're using that as an excuse. Yeah, what the clergies did, because I think they did, because what they did was they found that they were doing it again, and they should have done something. So,
right.
So now, whether you're going to say that, so whether you're going to say the doctor said it's okay or not, doesn't matter.
No,
they did it again.
It's well known. But Mary, we've only got about a minute left, so I don't mean to rush, but I like what you're doing with the media arm of it, which is you're bypassing, it looks to some degree, wherever you can get into MSM just to get the word out, but you're bypassing it and you're using a lot of I don't want to say alternative, but you're using more modern, citizen journalism, the documentaries, educational. So I really applaud you guys for that. How can people, before we have to say goodbye to you, how can people help? We know it's americasfuture.org. Did I get it right?
.net.
Oh, .net.
.net. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
AmericasFuture.net. We've got it below.
Yep. So that's okay. It's www.americasfuture.net, and then there's /project defend and protect. You just go right on our website and go into that
Perfect.
page. It's right there.
Perfect.
Project defend and protect our children, and that would be great. We really are looking to get funding too. So
it's a great
really
organization. Yeah, I do want people to support you, and promise you'll come back to keep us updated, with some regularity on what's happening and your successes as well in eradicating.
That's the transparency that I guarantee, and General Flynn guarantees. I've been in this a long time, and I know the one reason that people get discouraged about nonprofits is that they're not transparent. They don't know where their money's going. So
thank you,
I'm
Mary.
very aware of that, and I appreciate people doing what they're doing for us.
Thank you so much. You're going to teach you and the General are going to teach all of us how to fight like a Flynn.
That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do.
I love it. God bless you, and thanks for everything.
God bless.
Okay.
God bless.
All right, great. We'll see you the next time. Well, that's it for this segment. Don't go away, because we're going to have a very special segment of Ask Dr. Jane. Be right back. Well, the show is brought to you by Danette May and Mindful Health, LLC, featuring Danette May's top superfood product from her Earth Echo food line, Cocoa Bliss. Nothing feels better than being able to enjoy rich, smooth, creamy chocolate and knowing you're doing something good for your body. They start with 100% organic cocoa beans that are naturally kissed by the sun, maintaining its miraculous health benefits. Then they blend it with turmeric, MCT oil, coconut, Himalayan sea salt, cinnamon, and black pepper for the perfect blend to make you feel the best you have ever felt. Fall in love with a truly decadent, healthy, guilt-free chocolate, removing your cravings, facilitating weight loss, boosting your energy, and reducing inflammation with one simple drink. It's friendly to paleo, gluten-free, keto, vegan, and vegetarian diets. They're offering up to 15% off when you use the promo code RUBY. Go to earthechofoods.com and use the discount code RUBY for your 15% off.